The Oklahoma Sooners is a name that's present when talking about almost any popular Division I sport, and women's basketball is no exception.
But our balance and depth can go against anybody.
All right, guys, I love you guys a lot, and there's only 40 minutes guaranteed. Let's not take 1 second of it for granted. Let's go. You know what? We're going to make this happen. We cross the lines and we go. If you stay together, you pour into each other, and you do this for one another. I mean, we answer right there. Let's go.
The Sooners made a deep run in the NCAA tournament, making it to the Sweet 16 before getting rolled by UConn. The Sooners lost a few key pieces, with Skylar Vann and Lexi Key running out of eligibility and Raina Scott transferring. But they brought in some splash from the recruiting class, with 24/7 Sports ranking them 5th in recruiting. Before we get into the roster, let me welcome you to Davis Sports Report, where we are breaking down the 25-26 women's basketball rosters. Why? So you all can size up the competition of your favorite team. Or come through and talk smack. Whichever works for you. Now, hit the like button and subscribe to help us reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers, and we really appreciate it. Now let's get into the roster. Coach Baranczyk has filled 11 of the 15 roster spots, and she worked hard to make sure Oklahoma remained relevant. College Sports Network has ranked the Sooners 7th, but with Verhulst and Beers going into their senior year, they're going to have something to say about that. Starting with the guards. First up is Peyton Verhulst. She is a redshirt senior at 6'1". She averaged 14.9 points per game, 5.7 rebounds per game, 3.9 assists per game at a 42.1 field goal percentage. She was top in assists, top in steals with an average of 1.4 per game, contributing double digits in every postseason game and making 4 3-pointers in their loss to UConn. She holds several notable achievements, such as being a McDonald's All-American and a recipient of all conference honors in both the ACC and Big 12. She also earned a spot on the 2021 USA Women's U19 World Cup team, which won the gold. She has been recognized with numerous awards, including Gatorade Player of the Year for Kansas, USA Today's National Female Athlete of the Year, and FIBA America's U16 Championship MVP. Fans are super excited to see Verhulst back another year, and we look forward to seeing if she can lead the Sooners to a national championship. Then we have Zaya Vann. She is a sophomore at 5'9". She averaged 6.9 points per game, 2.4 rebounds per game, and 1.9 assists per game at a 41.1 field goal percentage, while averaging 15.4 minutes per game, and those are some solid numbers for the minutes played. In her freshman season with the Sooners, she had 45 steals, which is the 10th most in OU history for a freshman. She holds her high school career records for points with 1,798, rebounds with 631, and steals at 433. Next up is who we've been courting the $1 million baby, and that is Aaliyah Chavez. She is a freshman and she is 5'10". She was ranked number 1 in the recruiting class, but she did drop to number 3, and honestly, the top 3 could switch out any given day. They're all 3 amazing. But that being said, Chavez is still the highest ranked point guard. NBA star Trae Young had this to say.
Aaliyah is the next. Paige Baker is the next. Juju Watkins the next. You know what I'm saying? Caitlin Clark of college basketball. So it's gonna be exciting that she's in Norman, Oklahoma now, and we get to go and support her. I'm gonna be supporting her anytime I can. I've seen her at a camp and certain things in LA, but it's gonna be really cool now that she's in Norman and I get to go up there right up the street.
Many have held Chavez as a transformative talent, calling her a game changer and liking her to Caitlin Clark 2.0. Could it be? She was crowned both the 2025 Gatorade National Player of the Year and Naismith Prep Player of the Year, among other honors. Over her high school career, she amassed 4,796 points, wow, alongside 1,279 rebounds, 771 assists, and significant steals and 3-pointers, making history both locally and nationally. Then we have Keziah Lofton. She is a freshman at 6 feet tall. She is ranked 50th in the class of 2025. She is described as a versatile 6-foot guard, a super smooth lefty, and a scoring guard who is able to score at the rim and has a real bounce. Her high school coach, Eric Saylor, stated that she's the type of kid that isn't going to take no for an answer and has a heart and determination that are second to none. I watched the reels. She is dangerous from the three-point line. Dangerous, I say. Moving on to the forwards, but before we do, we'd like to ask you to please hit that like button if you are enjoying the content. It'll lead other people over here, and that would really help us out. Thanks so much. And now to the forwards. We're going to start with Sahara Williams. She is a junior and she is 5'11". She averaged 10.6 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, and 2.2 assists per game at a 41.7 field goal percentage. She was a starter for the Sooners, playing a major role in the postseason, putting up double digits 2 of the 3 games and grabbing 10 rebounds and making 5 assists on the other. Williams has averaged double digits in scoring both years of her career. I strongly believe that she's going to have a bigger role to play this year and that she's ready to step into it head on. She pairs so well with Reagan Beers, and I think she will fill that gap left by Skylar Vann. She played for Team USA in the FIBA 3x3 in 2022, 23, and 25. And despite being a starter, I'll be honest, her name hasn't been out there in the way that I think it should be, but I believe that is all going to change this season. Then we have Kaya Smith. She is a sophomore at 6'1". She averaged 1.2 points per game, 0.4 rebounds per game, and 0.1 assists per game at a 41.2 field goal percentage. Kaya was a freshman last year that got limited minutes as she was unfortunately in line behind a couple of very impressive forwards. But in my opinion, she was underused. She's quick, she's aggressive, she will fight for the ball, and she can shoot. She has basketball IQ, reading the floor like a pro. What more do you need? I expect we will see heavy minutes coming Smith's way this season. Next is Emma Tolan. She is a freshman at 5'11", and she is an international player from Ireland. Last season, she averaged 9.9 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 2.3 assists per game while playing with Virginia College, which is a secondary school in Ireland. She led the Ireland U18 team and won the tournament MVP honors in 2024, where she averaged 10 points per game and 8 rebounds. I watched the Ireland 2024 U18 game against Denmark, and I picked up that Tolan isn't afraid to take the ball inside despite defenders being in her way. She even has a bit of a hook shot, which is nice to see, and she runs the floor. The only critique I could find, and again, this game was a year ago, so she might have already worked and improved on this, and that is her speed on defending. The guards in the SEC are very quick, and if she's not on her feet, they will blow right past her. But all in all, she's a solid player, and I think she's going to be a great addition to the Sooners. Then we have Brooklyn Stewart, who is also a freshman, and she is 6'3". She was rated number 61 nationally by 24/7 Sports and number 66 by ESPN. She was a McDonald's All-American nominee. She didn't make the team, but during her senior year, she averaged 19 points per game, 10.8 rebounds, and 1.2 blocks. Pretty impressive. She's listed as a power forward, and she brings the power. She's aggressive on steals, rebounds, putbacks, and has a smooth jump shot. She will be a freshman to watch. Now we move on to the centers, and we're going to start with one of my favorite centers to watch, and that is Reagan Beers. She is a senior, and she is 6'4". She averaged 17.3 points per game, 9.4 rebounds, 1.1 assists per game at a 63.3 field goal percentage. She was the top scorer, rebounder, and block shots for the Sooners, and ranked in the top 50 of rebounds in Division I players last year. She was the glue that held the team together for several of the games last season, putting up a season-high 30 points against both Vanderbilt and Arkansas. In July 2025, Reagan surprised everyone by announcing she was returning to Oklahoma for another season. Her words were, "We have unfinished business," and unfinished business they do. Beers miss no easy buckets, along with Peyton, are now the face of the Sooners. If you've ever watched her post-game conferences, you will fall in love with her personality. She plays hard on the court and she is compassionate off of it. Beers was also a part of Team USA at the 2025 FIBA AmeriCup, where she averaged 8.1 points, 5.7 rebounds, coming up big in the first game against Chile with 22 points. Beers led Team USA with rebounds, and boy was it a treat to watch this group play and ultimately bring home that gold.
Great support system, to say the least. I know my brothers are also watching. They're probably yelling at me through the TV, I can guarantee it. My grandparents have come to so many games. Family, friends who are here, who were at Oregon State, and they got to drive up and come see me. My dad was, of course, here. You probably heard his whistle. It's going viral. I have just a phenomenal support system at home, and that just makes the game of basketball so much easier. When you have that, and you can just, after a hard day, call and be like, hey, it was a tough day, and they can just pour into you. And then it's so cool to have that also, because then it just solidifies where you are in the program I chose. Whoever was surprised through social media, whatever, and people were like, oh, why'd you go there? Why'd you go here? My family, the core of my family, were like, oh yeah, you're going to love it there. And I know you're going to love it there.
Then we have Beatrice Culleton. She is a senior and she is 6'3". She averaged 1.9 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, 1.1 assists per game at a 57.4 field goal percentage. She was a 2023 Big 12 All-Freshman Team, McDonald's All-American nominee, and while Beatrice has her sights set on a career in medical field after graduation, she still plays a big role for the Sooners as a leader, a motivator, and a contributor in practice and during the minutes she gets on the court. And lastly is Dafa Sissisco. She's a freshman at 6'4". She spent her prep years at PVBC, which is a France league. Coach Baranczyk said, "We're so excited to have Dafa join our program. She's a great player with incredible length and athleticism, and she never stops working on the boards. Our fans will love the energy and spark that she brings. She's been playing against professionals in France, so she's ready to make an impact here in Norman. We can't wait for her to get here and be part of our OU family." End quote. Sissisco is the younger sister of City Sissisco, a two-way player with the Portland Trail Blazers. With PVBC, she helped guide the team to a U18 national championship in the Champions Day France tournament this year, going a perfect 10-0. Before the signing, Oklahoma was already projected to be one of the best in the country, and this boosts them even higher. And that is the end of the roster. Now let's take a look at each position. For the guards, we have 4, which I will admit is a bit surprising, as almost all of the team that we've covered is very guard heavy with 5 to 7 guards. A fun little thing we like to do is count the McDonald's All-Americans in response to Coach Mulkey's calling out teams with multiples. So here we go. At the guard position, there are 2, and the other 2 were actually finalists. Now on to the forwards, and there are 4 forwards, and at least 2 of them could be considered guards, but counting up the McDonald's All-Americans, there's only 1. Now let's move on to the centers, where there are 3 impressive centers, with one of them being a McDonald's All-American and gold medalist. Of course, international players are not eligible for McDonald's All-American. Now let's get to the business of trying to determine who Coach Baranczyk will start. Last year's starters were Sahara Williams, Skylar Vann, Reagan Beers, Raina Scott, and Peyton Volhurst. We no longer have point guards Raina Scott or forward Skylar Vann. Guys, I think the remaining 3 will be starting again next year. Peyton was a solid leader. Beers is a beast, and Sahara held her own. I don't see any of these 3 women losing their starting spots. Now, for the point guard position, they could go either way with Zaya Vann or Aaliyah Chavez. Chavez is a traditional point guard, and she is coming in super hot. I'm thinking they will give her an opportunity to show what she's got. And to replace Skylar Vann, well, that's going to be a little trickier. There are both forwards and centers that could fill that spot. Then there's the forward Emma Tolen, who has international experience, or center Dafa Sissisco, who also has international experience, except hers is against professionals. Both killing it and aggressive on the ball. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. Who would the Sooners starters be for next season? Who can fill a gap that they were missing last year? Chavez, maybe? And do you think this team with their highly ranked new recruit can take it all the way? Drop your comments below. Oh, and also, before I forget, we have a poll to see which teams you would like to see rosters for. So go and take the poll. Let us know who you're interested in seeing. And we thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And with that, I'm going to be signing off, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.